hand therapy as an area that I want to do. She goes, I just hate splinting. And I was like, well, why do you hate splinting? She goes, I'm not good at it. Ding, ding, ding. You're not good at something because you keep saying you hate it. I used to hate splinting, and here's what I did to ensure that I didn't hate it. Number one, you have to change your mindset around it. Splinting is really hard, and one of the things is like in school, you're only given like one day to learn splinting. It's really not enough. It really isn't. So when I went into my internship, I had an internship in burns and I had an internship in hands. It was a combined acute with outpatient at a hospital. And I used to say the same thing that everyone else was saying, which was like, oh, like I hate splinting. But I hated splinting because I was bad at it. It's not because I hated splinting. It's just I hated splinting because I was bad at it. But how do you get really good at something that you're bad at? How do you get good? You practice. That's it. So I had to just commit to the practice. And so what really made it click for me was that continuous practice and having a CI that was very encouraging. So because I was quote unquote bad at it, because I didn't know what I was doing, I didn't have enough practice, my CI at the time was just like, it's okay. It looks so, like it was fine. It looks good enough, right? So it's funny because I use that a lot now as I teach and I train my therapists and I teach other people. Like part of what makes it like click is just that you saying like you're gonna get better with time. So look at this. I made this. Look at this. Not great. Not terrible, but not great, right? So all it does is just like, how can you get that practice? I got that practice in burns. In burns, you do a lot of splinting. But the great thing about splinting in burns is it's very generic. Like I got to make a bunch of resting hand splints, elbow splints. Like they're big, but they were very like over big dressings, right? So you could be very non-specific. In hand therapy, you end up making stuff that are more intricate, right? Like it's got to go over knuckles. This is only my one box of like things that get put here after someone practices. So this is a dorsal block splint on somebody. Like we have so many little ones, but splinting just takes practice. So if you can tell yourself, it's not that you hate splinting, it's just that you're not good at it. There was a therapist I saw years ago where I just like, man, like you would be so good in hand therapy. Like I see a lot of potential. And she goes, I have always considered hand therapy as an area that I want to do. She goes, I just hate splinting. And I was like, well, why do you hate splinting? She goes, I'm not good at it. Ding, ding, ding. You're not good at something because you keep saying you hate it. And that's the biggest thing that made it click for me. Having to change my thinking around it. It's not because you hate splinting, it's because you're not good at it. So how do you get some practice in? You get the job. You get the job that allows you to practice and practice and practice. I started in acute care. I started practicing there. And then I got a job in outpatient and I got to practice more. If you're in a skilled nursing, you can just make sure that you're the hand person and you say, hey, let me practice. So how do you practice? You get some splint material, right? This is this Taylor splint. Know your splint material because you just have to try a few of them out and see. And I believe that Taylor splint is really beginner friendly. It does conform a little bit so that you're not having to fight it. Like easy form is very rigid, and so you have to fight it a lot to just get any kind of shape to it. So Taylor is like not as hard as that, but not as like gummy as polyform, right? Polyform and aquaplast, they're very much like Orfit. Like Orfit is, I also get the thinner Orfit material, so it like molds really fast. Because it molds really fast, it can feel really scary for someone who hates making splints or is not really good at it because it forms so fast. So Taylor splint is that kind of in between. And how do you get over hating something? Just recognize what it is, which is like you're not good at it yet. So then it becomes like, how do you get good at it? You practice. You can take a course, right? Look at my website. I'll link it below. I have an orthosis course coming this year. I taught it last year. I'm doing another one. You can find other courses. Just go with the course that you can get hands-on practice, right? That's number one. Number two, you can buy your own shit and practice at home. Come on now, buy your own shit and practice at home. I told a therapist that years ago, and she was just like, they didn't do it because they're like, oh, it's too expensive. It's not that expensive. It's more expensive to lose the job opportunity because you don't know how to splint at all, right? You can go and get like half a sheet from Patterson Medical, right? You can get a half a sheet from North Coast. Those are the two main medical supply companies that you can order from. You can go to Amazon potentially and get some splint material, but I personally like Taylor Splint. I teach with it because it is a great beginner material, right? And you can get Taylor Splint from Patterson Medical. But if you order it from North Coast, I believe it's called Preferred. It doesn't have to be any color. Perforated is just because I live in Miami and it's hot, and so when you use perforated, number one, it's more breathable. Number two, it weighs less. So buy you half a material, like half a sheet, and just practice. You don't need Velcro, you don't need all that good stuff. You just need some material to get some practicing. If you already have the job, ask your employer to give you some material. So I am an employer, right? I hire a therapist and I train them, and I'm like, just take some material. I mean, obviously don't take it and trash it. Like, take it, try it, use it, mold it, like heat it up, mold it again, heat it up, mold it again. Use scrap pieces to work on your cutting, work on rounding your corners. There's so many ways in which you can practice and help you to become more comfortable with splinting, so that you don't go into it saying, I hate splinting, right? You hate splinting just because you're not good, and you get good when you practice. End of story. Once you start practicing a little bit, then you can do it on patients, right? You can do it on patients. Now, sometimes you'd be getting them jobs and you're like, holy shit, I have a splint I have to make on a patient. So you just have to do it faster. That's all. There's absolutely nothing to splinting except practice. When you see other therapists sharing their stories, sharing the way they make splint, I don't even think I'm that great. Like, I think other therapists are better because they crank them out every day. They probably work in a doctor's office and they're just cranking those custom splints out all the time. I have my own practice. I actually don't crank them out that much. I just have had a long career in hand therapy, and so I've had an opportunity. I also have an opportunity because I teach, right? So don't compare yourself to me. Do not do it. I only got this good because I practice, not because I'm some natural talent or anything like that. I was just willing to be really bad for a short period of time. That's how I got better. So I think that I know that could be for you as well. So like this video, save it so you can watch it again, because it's not because you're not good. You just need some practice. And the links are below if you want to come to any of my live courses. I do have a live orthosis workshop. If you have materials but you need just help with like patterns, when to use and stuff like that, that's going to be inside the mentorship program. I have a whole module on splinting inside the mentorship program because that's ongoing support, right? But get some practice, man. We need OTs that know how to make splints, right? And know how to make custom fitted ones that you can't buy and find in the drugstore or on Amazon, right?